Now, we did start a conversation with the ladies earlier on what makes you attracted to a person, you know, and we did talk about the fact that sometimes looks fade. said it herself. And I'm wondering if that could be a precursor to today's topic. Mr. Olaiwola Abiola is a certified professional mental health counselor, someone with a specialization in relationship and marriage counseling. He uses his background in counseling and psychology to empower individuals to transform their personal relationships and, of course, professional lives. Now, he's a specialist when it comes to helping couples overcome their individual dysfunctions. Is it a dysfunction that causes people to cheat? Why do people cheat? That's what we're talking about this morning. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Titi. It's good to be here.
All right, so based on your experience working with couples, you've probably come across some very interesting excuses as to why couples they cheat on each other. For instance, you have this stunning, beautiful woman. She's successful. She's a great mom. You know, she looks great. But you find out that her spouse has cheated. Talk to us.
Okay, well, first of all, I'd like to say there's no excuse that will be acceptable for cheating or infidelity, either in relationship or in marriage. So that being said, that must be established, first of all. And number two, you can't blame yourself for the strange spouse. Okay. That's another thing we need to establish here. Now, one of the major reasons I've found out in my personal practice why people cheat is because most of the time there's a lot of unmet expectations. Okay. Men and women have different needs, emotional needs, sexual needs, and the likes. At times, a man is providing everything, but he's not meeting the emotional need of the woman. Okay. And most of the time, he feels that since I'm providing everything, I'm throwing money at everything, then she should be okay. But this woman has got a need, emotional need. She wants somebody she can talk to, somebody she can see, you know, somebody she can converse with. And another thing is, people also have this mindset that the pasture is greener on the other side. Some people have this kind of this mentality of daydreaming. Okay, if this is happening, I just love this. But until you get to the other side, that there's something happening there. Every pasture that is green, somebody is doing the hard work of wetting it and making it grow. So that's why I said earlier, no matter the reason, there's not going to be an excusable reason for why people cheat. So those are one of the major reasons why people cheat. People have a lot of unmet expectations in their relationship or marriage.
Okay, so it is a question that comes up a lot on social media.
Okay.
Why? Why? There has to be more than just the unmet expectations. Okay. Can you tell us maybe with a case study from a couple you've worked with? Okay,
now, there's a situation whereby, okay, let me pick one of the reasons that I think is also very, very important. Now, at times people want to what I call like a bruised ego.
Okay.
Okay, you think this is not good enough for me. You have done something for me. A lot of resentment, underlying issues. I think that's the right word. A lot of people have unresolved underlying issues, and when you don't deal with them, you keep sweeping them under the carpet. A time will come that either of the parties will look for an avenue, an outlet. At times, people want to use to get back at their spouse.
Like revenge.
Like revenge. Okay. Maybe something happened in the past relationship, the past life of the other one, or maybe something happened, something near infidelity with the other spouse. And that's why I said earlier, unresolved issues, unresolved issues in their marriage. And when that happens, at times some people want to get, because to a man's sexuality is tied to his ego. So when it comes to a point that he feels that my wife has done this to me, I need to show her that I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And also, some people also have what we call maladjusted character. They are not just a man or woman of their words. They lack integrity. Okay. So they do not have the capacity. That also is traceable to the dysfunctions we talked about. For example, if you have lived in an environment, grown up in an environment where your father seems to be changing women like diapers, the guy grows up with a mindset that, look, women at my beck and call, I have the money, I have everything, I can train it to any woman and get it. So he does not even care what happens to the emotion of the woman at home. And things like that do happen. So those are the other reasons that can cause.
So we've covered the issue of ego, we've covered the issue of unmet expectations. Underlying issues.
Yes, unresolved underlying issues in marriage.
Okay, so are there any others we can add to that list?
Definitely. We also have issue probably, well, let them talk about sex itself. You know, most
or intimate relationships.
Intimate relationships. Yeah. Okay, that's how we right, but intimate relationships. Now, there's a situation we also call sexless relationship, where people are not being satisfied sexually. And now, so if that happens also, somebody wants to look for for that outside. Okay. And at times also when someone is growing, one of the characteristics of a thriving relationship is growth. The man and the woman must be growing intellectually, in terms of other areas of their lives. Now, every woman wants a megastar, a man that comes to the table, that brings new ideas. Now, when a man is growing and the woman is not growing, a time will come that they cannot have this intellectual compatibility. Now, the man starts meeting someone else, maybe at work, that is stimulating. Yes, stimulating his vision and things like that. And the woman at home is not taking care of herself, is not growing, she just lay back and things like that. And at the end of the day, the man starts finding someone else that is striking a major chord in his life. I know at different stages of our lives, we have different issues, things that mattered to us before. Like I overheard I watched it, I had the background when you're talking about attraction the other time. Yeah. Now, when you get married, being sexy becomes different for a man. Okay. It's no longer about your boobs, not about your curves anymore. It's about the intelligence, the value you are bringing to the table. Okay. And when a man is at that level, he's a go-go-go person, and you have to be a laid-back person, he's not doing anything. A time will come, there will be so much gap in their reason and intellectual conversation. And when a man is not finding that, because most of the time, our gender differences also come to play here. A man is most of the time a project-driven person. Women are more relational-driven. So when a man, okay, I want to get married now. I've done that. Next. That's a project. That's a project. Next, I'm moving to nesting. And the woman says, the man does not love me again. No, all you need to do is to adjust. Adjust to the new reality of the new season you are in, okay? What else can I bring to the table? It's not about, oh, you didn't bring me, pancakes, you didn't bring me pizza, you didn't bring me... No, the man is asking for something more interesting, something more engaging. What else are you bringing to the table? And when he gets that outside and somebody is feeding him in that aspect, because another aspect of a relationship that makes a relationship thrive is nutrition, that is ability to feed each other well. So in all areas of life. So when all these things are not in place and someone else is filling that gap, naturally we are drawn towards someone meeting those particular needs in our lives. So there's someone watching right now who has just keyed into what you just said now. Okay. And has realized, oh, maybe I'm just not stepping up my game enough. I'm not come to the power. What would you advise the person to do? Number one, open conversation. They need to sit down together, husband and wife or whatever, maybe even if you're not yet married in a serious relationship, sit down. There's nothing communication cannot resolve in any relationship, even in fidelity issues. If you can sit down and you're ready to make this work, I'm of the opinion that marriages can work if you work them. So if you are going to sit down and have open conversation, serious and honest conversation, no holds barred, and you can talk heart to heart. Look, these are the reasons, these are the things you're doing that is not allowing me to thrive the way I would have wanted to. So I think open conversation is important, and the determination and sense of commitment to make the relationship work. Thank you so much for coming to join us. You should check us out online with the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC at TVC Connect at love.boulevard. Yes, love.boulevard. All right, that's where he's going to be answering your questions online. We have loads of them, don't we? Let's take this quick break and be back with more.